What's up, everybody? We're here working on accents and taps. If you've never dived into this type of exercise or this skill set before, make sure you check out the intro video so you know all the techniques and ideas that we're working on here. This is a different skill set than we worked on when we were in single strokes, and this is kind of the natural progression of once we have a good understanding of how to apply legato strokes or single strokes, we want to apply it at different heights. Okay, and different volumes for that matter. So, accents and taps are really just learning how to control different volumes and get different sounds out of the drums, because drums would be super boring if it just had one volume, just like we practice in single strokes. Even when we get faster, it gets quieter, but there's no variation, there's no intrigue. So that's why that's a technique and a skill set to build, just like we're going to build here. But this is another tool in your toolkit that you can break out when we get into more complicated rhythms. So you have the ability to make sounds on different beats wherever you want, louder, quieter, anything that you want to be able to do. All right, so here are the skill sets that we're working on. Make sure you pick something, make sure you know what you're working on as you're getting to know yourself through accents and taps. But if you're ready, I'm ready to get into this. I'm excited. This is going to be fun. All right, take a look at the music down below. But otherwise, definitely memorize that as fast as you can so that you're not thinking about the music and what's coming next. You want to be thinking about what your hands are doing and how to get better at it. But we're going from 80 to 90 beats per minute through this. Not very fast. This is a foundational skill set, and we're going to control it. So here we go. We're diving into our first tempo. We're at 80 beats per minute. We're going to 90. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Nice and legato, nice and rebounded. Right in time with your feet. Very good. Again, last time here. Memorize what this feels like, because you're going to use it throughout the whole exercise. Same height every time. We're building chops here. And memorize. Don't speed up. Nice and even. Two, one more time here. Make every note sound the same. Really listen. even on those hand transitions. How are those tacit hands? Very good. All right. This exercise is very challenging at this tempo because we want to speed up, especially when we're at a low height, right? So that's something we're really going to have to focus on at the low tempo. So this is an exercise, honestly, you can come back to even when we're really up in the tempo, when we're burning it. This is something that's totally worth coming back to see if you can truly have control at a slow tempo. It's much easier to control this exercise once we get in the 100 to like 140 range. But at 80 beats a minute, that's no joke. That takes a tremendous amount of tempo control. All right, so as for a little bit, it's going to get a little bit easier as we bump the tempos up. So just know that, but develop your technique at this tempo, right? Don't think that because it's slow, that means it's easy. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's good or bad, just the reality is sometimes going slower is much harder. Okay, so at least tempo-wise. And it gives you time to think about what does something feel like, and you can make adjustments much faster. So there's benefits and challenges to this tempo that we're going through. But we're going to 82 beats a minute. Why don't you join me? Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Memorize how this feels. Nice and legato, even though it's a low height. Nice relaxed downstrokes. Make it feel the same on the left. Good control. Same heights every time. Good taps. Very good. Again, last time here. See if you can become robotic about it. The same exact accents, the same exact taps. Take a look down. Very good. Very good. Yeah, one of the things about being robotic, I don't mean to turn you into a robot. There's plenty of time for that later. But be robotic in a sense where once you develop what it feels like to play a tap or a legato stroke at this height with your left hand and with your right hand, see if you can replicate that every single time. You want to burn this into your biochemistry in your body so that when you play at this height, at this tempo, your body just knows what to do. It's a feeling more than it is something like a decision that you want to make. You don't want to be making a decision. You want to have this burned into your hard drive, your memory, so that you can just turn it on whenever, whatever it is that you're working on. If you're playing something real cool on a snare drum or moving around the drums and you want to get real quiet and then pop out with cool accents, you want to be able to just tap into that without thinking. So that's the sense of roboticness that's super useful to have. And if you're ready, I'm ready, and we are at 84 beats a minute. Think about it. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Make sure your feet are still driving you. Do your left and right hands sound the same? Very good. Again, 1, 2, ready, go. Nice and rebounded. All driven by the wrist. Don't use too much arm. You don't need any arm here. Nice and controlled. Awesome. Really good job. One thing that I wanted to point out was make sure you're finishing each phrase, right? Each different accent pattern that we have, it ends, almost every single one of them, with a couple exceptions, end on a tap. Right? So make sure you're playing that last tap really well before you switch to the left hand or switch to the right hand, right? A lot of times we're thinking ahead, as we have to be, in order to prepare ourselves to play well, but don't jump ahead too far. Make sure you're still finishing each phrase and playing that last eighth note with the exact same intention and energy as the first one, right? They all matter equally, but sometimes we get a little bit ahead of ourselves and we value different notes more. We don't want to do that. We want to value every single one of them at 100%. All right, we're getting closer to our goal tempo here. We're at 86 beats per minute. Make some adjustments. Figure out what you want to work on. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Nice and rebounded. Make it feel consistent. Very good. 2. Again. 286. Drive those feet. Play perfectly with your feet. There's a lot to think about now. Make your left hands and right hands feel the same. Very good. Think about what your tendencies are with each different pattern, right? One of my tendencies, especially at this tempo, is when we get to the bucks, those just continuous accents. At this tempo, I want to rush. So that's something I have to think about, right? Maybe your tendency is you want to rush here, right on these 8th notes in the beginning. Maybe you're a little bit slow. Maybe you're tensing up the more there's accents, right? This is one of the harder patterns in this exercise. It's hard to talk and play. That's one of the harder parts of this exercise because there's all 3 different strokes, 4 strokes in 3 notes right away. So maybe that's a challenge for you. Maybe you get overly tense there. Figure out what your patterns are and your tendencies are and start to anticipate them before you get to that part so that when you know, all right, I'm not going to rush when I get to these. Yeah, then you can be right in time. Always anticipate your tendencies before they happen. That way, you can stop them. I can't stop them. I can only stop mine. I'd love to stop yours, but I can only give you little tips here. Speaking of tips, we're getting close to the tip top. Ooh, that is rough. That was something. All right, we're at 88 beats per minute. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Think about your tendencies before they happen. You can look down. Very good. 2, again, 288. Nice and consistent. Your taps feel the same? I hope so. Awesome. We are jumping to 90 beats per minute, and as you may have noticed, we're 10 clicks up. There's a tremendous difference in how this feels. You won't notice the difference, but if we were to drop back down to 80, you'd realize, I feel like you have a half an hour between every single note you're playing, right? So much time to think. You have less time to think when you're at 90 beats per minute, and that's a good thing, right? Sometimes we overthink things, sometimes we start to overcorrect based on time, but also moving faster gives us a little bit of a chance to develop some momentum and to really replicate the patterns in our body, right? Let's get this nice and legato tap stroke, and then let's apply it whether or not there's an accent somewhere, right? The accent just moves, but we're just playing tap strokes, right? We're playing nice legato eighth notes, right? Very low end, and then we're, oh, an accent, no problem. I can put an accent there, I can put an accent there, no matter where the accent goes. That's what we're building here. And we're at our goal tempo. Yeah, look at us now. 90, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Drive your feet. Very good. 2, again, 2, ready, go. Find the groove. Nice and consistent. All right, we're at 94. We're getting a little glimpse into where we're headed in the next video in our next set of tempos. One, two, 1, 2, ready, go. Nice and consistent. Very good. Last time here. 1, 2, again, go. Drive with your feet. Nice and consistent between hand transitions. Nice and even. Controlled heights. Very good. All right. You already know what we're doing. We're bumping back down to our goal tempo. We're doing performance reps right away. This isn't pushing, 94 is not pushing us to the point where we need to resettle in here or anything like we did in some of those singles. We're jumping right to 90. I want you to think about your tendencies right now, and we're going for 2 performance reps. All right? Your best representation of this whole practice section that we've been doing. If you had to record a video right now and put it on the internet, what's the best thing that you can do? All right? Put the pressure on. Here we go. 2 reps. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Very good. 2, very last time here. You did it! 90 beats per minute. Huge jump between 80 and 90. There's a tremendous amount that we went over in this section here. Hopefully that felt great. Hopefully by the time you got to 90, you went back and looked at 80 and you're like, wow, I can see all the growth that I made just in this session here. If you're ready to jump to the next tempo, I will see you there. If you're not, that's cool too. Back it up and do this section again. Pick a tempo that felt a little bit weird, or where you started to notice where you had weird tendencies, you were squeezing the stick too much, you were rushing, you were dragging at points. There was just a lot to think about. If you're ready for the next one, I'll see you there. If not, rewind. No problem. That's why we're here. Otherwise, thanks a lot for playing along, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for playing along. If you liked that video, please let me know down below. Let me know why you liked it. Let me know what you're working on so I can make more things exactly for what you need. And if you didn't like it, keep it to yourself. No, if you didn't like it, please let me know why down below, because I want to make videos that you need. What skill sets do you need? What would make you better faster? Let me know. And if you want to get some real feedback, tag me in videos. Send me an email, tag me on Instagram, tag me on YouTube. I want to give you comments. I want to make this a community, and I want us to all get better at drums faster. All right, I'll see you in the next one.